Bruce the Last Nail. Hope you're doing well out there. Today, first of all, I'm back in Colorado. I was out in California for a week. I just got back last weekend, last Friday. So this is the Friday after, let's say about May 3rd of this year. And I'm going on a hike today. Now, the hike is going to be about probably 2 miles or a little touch over 2 miles. It's a fairly easy hike. You could probably see this. Here, I'm going to flip my viewfinder shut. And you could probably see some of where I'm going to hike. Now, that building up there is NCAR. That's the National Center for Atmospheric Research. There's a small hill up here, and these are the ones in the back, the mountains. I call them mountains. Some people call them foothills. But those are the Flatirons. And I'm just southwest of Boulder, Colorado. So I'm going to go up here. It shouldn't be a very long hike, and I'll explain a little bit about the hike. Oh, this is the beginning of the trail right here, and I think I'm on Bear Mountain Road. There's the road right there, and this takes you up a few steps. You cross a stream, which is, I think that's Bear Creek, and this is the trail to NCAR, or Bear Canyon. It's actually an access trail. So let's go. Okay, the hike starts now. I'm not intending on getting every little bit of this hike on video. This is the beginning of the hike, and I'm using my Apple Watch to record the distance. It's pretty accurate. I'm not going to try to worry about the time. So let's see. Not really sure what the temperature is. I think it's hovering right around 70. So let's go down here. And this is Bear Creek. It's running pretty high right now, most likely due to snow melt. And you can probably get a little better idea of what's happening here. Okay, that was kind of an abrupt cut back there. I'll get a little bit more of Bear Creek in here. I'll go up these steps. And here, NCAR Bear Canyon Trail. NCAR's right up there. Beautiful day. And dogs must be leashed. And here's the trail. Actually, are some nice homes up here along about the first quarter mile of the trail. And let's see, there's the hill I was talking about. NCAR's up there. NCAR it's actually a plateau up there. They got a great parking area up at the top of NCAR if you want to do hiking out of NCAR. There's a little side trail that will lead you down to Bear Creek. Over here, I don't know if you can see them, but there's some lilacs. Lilacs are blooming. And this is looking towards the east. That's looking more towards Boulder. A couple of years ago, I did a series of YouTubes on springtime Colorado. Here's Bear Creek. You can see it's up pretty high right now, again because of the snow melt. And what's nice about living here in Boulder is it takes me about 10 minutes from where Keely and I live to get up here, and you walk a quarter mile and you're basically in the pines. When I lived in Southern California, in the San Fernando Valley, it'd take at least an hour to get to the pines. And of course I call the pines the pine trees. There's some more scenery of the open land. Now, this hike here, I'll tell you a backstory. Well, by the way, before I get into the backstory, you see some burnt trees up there. Well, I don't know if it was a year after the Marshall Fire, there was another fire up here which burnt some of the trees down. The trees, obviously have not recovered yet. And they probably won't recover for a while. Here I changed hands. There's the Flatirons. I'd say the north part of the Flatirons. Last October, Keely and I went on our Larry Anderson memorial hike up at Rocky Mountain National Park. And frankly, that hike kicked my butt as far as how out of shape I've gotten as far as hiking. So I started doing some of these smaller hikes around Boulder, 2-mile hikes, maybe 2 to 4 mile hikes, just to get myself into better shape, better hiking shape. My axiom is, if you want to get into good hiking shape, go hiking. If you want to get into good, let's say, weight workout shape, go lift weights. If you want to get into bike riding shape, go ride your bike. So I wanted to get into good hiking shape. It's one of the reasons I moved up here to Colorado from the LA area, so I could get out here in this beautiful part of the country and go hiking, and I haven't regretted it. And I haven't regretted not moving back to California. I love to visit there. I love to see my friends and family. But I haven't regretted not moving back. I'm not dissing on California or Southern California. It's a beautiful state. no doubt. That's just my personal preference is to live here. Now there's a cutoff trail right up here that goes down here, and you can go up the hill, I guess, to NCAR. I did that a couple months ago, and I got to the very top, and boy, it felt like it was going straight up. And then coming down, I had to go down on my rear end for a little bit until I got a little less of a slope, because I didn't bring a pole with me. But there's another shot of NCAR. I just checked my watch, and I've gone about 0.6 of a mile. Now up here, you could see some of the burn area from the most recent fire. I forget which fire they called that. It might have been the El Dorado Canyon fire. But this V up here would take you into Bear Canyon. And I've hiked up there. And here's the cutoff trail. There's someone hiking up there, but there's the cutoff trail to NCAR. Up there, up on top, there's some people that you can barely see, but we found a small, we meaning me and other hikers, we found a small rattlesnake. So that's another thing. Oh, in fact, there's a snake right here. Now that is a, what is that? That is not a rattlesnake. That's a bull snake. That's what that is. See, it's going off. They mimic a rattlesnake in the sense that they want predators to think that they are rattlesnakes. I could tell it was a bull snake because it didn't have a rattler at the end and it had a smaller head. That was the two things I noticed. Here it comes. I don't know if you can see that. But there comes, it looks like a military helicopter. Here's some more of the trail. Just saw another copter. When I first got up here, probably around 2010, 2011, I took a hike with one of my meetup groups. That's a beautiful pine tree. Not really sure which pine that is. I don't know if it's a Japanese black. Not really sure. It could be a Japanese black pine. Beautiful tree though. But now we're definitely into the pines. But I took a hike up Mount St. Vrain. It was an autumn hike. And when we got up to the summit, excuse me, I'm a little out of breath. So we got up to the summit. Now here's a formation with another pine up there, and I'm sure this is probably the same formation as the Flatirons. When we got to the top of the Flatirons, we could look north and see Long's Peak. And there was a black helicopter that was circling the mountain. It was circling the south side. We were at about 12,000 feet. There's some more of the Flatirons. Bear Creek. We were at the south side looking north, again south of Long's Peak, and there just happened to have been a ranger, I think, that worked at Rocky Mountain National Park. And I said, I noticed that the helicopter was black. And he said, yeah, do you know the difference between the black helicopters and the orange? And I thought, well, aren't the helicopters to rescue people? And he said, well, the orange helicopters are for rescue, but there's black helicopters. Unfortunately, those are for recovery of people who have passed. And Long's Peak, I'm not sure, but I think they average about 4 fatalities a year from hikers, so you do have to be careful. You have to be careful hiking, no matter where you hike. Here's an area that's closed. Beautiful little small canyon. And there again, there's more pines. I don't know how well you can see that because I'm getting quite a bit of sky. There's power lines up here too. Let's walk a little more. There's other kinds of trees up here. These, when I look at the bark, they almost resemble ponderosas. There's ponderosas, a lot of the same trees that you see in the mountains of Colorado, you see in California. So you see Jeffreys and you see ponderosas. Okay, I just passed a mile. It's about 30 minutes into the hike. I don't really care again about the time because I had to stop once to change out the battery. But I'm getting to the intersection of the Mesa Trail, so that's where I'm going to turn around and go back down to the car. But hey, as far as wildlife goes, I've seen one bull snake. Glad it wasn't a rattlesnake. They'll usually curl up, give you a warning. That's their rattle. They're not known to attack people unless you step right on them. Here's the cutoff to the north Mesa Trail. You can take that directly up to Chautauqua. There's a cutoff trail up there that'll take you back to NCAR. Or you can actually go up this way to Chautauqua also. This will take you into Bear Canyon. And I'm not going to go any further. There's a couple reasons. By the way, when you stop at these areas, if you notice, there's the cutoff there between the trail and the ryegrass. You want to always keep an eye on things, especially for rattlesnakes, because they'll hide in there and they'll curl. But again, they'll usually give you a warning. Now, by the way, I've given some information on rattlesnakes. I'm no expert, so I hope I didn't give out any misinformation on rattlesnakes or bull snakes. So a couple weeks ago, I was working out at one of the local gyms. Here comes, well, these are two greyhounds with the hiker. So when I was working out, I felt a little tinge in my groin area. And then that afternoon I went hiking, not hiking, but walking at the Flatirons Mall. And I felt my leg singe up, my left leg, upper leg. And I didn't take it seriously. And before I knew it, I was limping. And it's a nice, pretty rock. Probably a nice hunk of granite. But it took about a week to feel better, and of course, the week after it started feeling better, I was at California Adventure and Disneyland. Went on a couple rides, and I think I aggravated my hip. So in my upper right leg, right around where my hip is, I've been feeling just a little tinge. I should be okay. I've already made it over a mile up, and that's what I had planned, was to do a mile up and a mile back. So I think I'll be okay. I'm on the downhill end, and as I walk downhill, I'll get a little bit of a stretch, so that will help. Here's a little cutoff trail. But there's a fence there called Restoration in Progress, and it's a really good idea, if you see that fence, not to try to go over the fence. The local park administration is trying to get that area to recover just from human presence there, human footprints. Maybe somebody did a campfire when they weren't supposed to, and as you know, this can be very flammable. It is very flammable in here. So just do as they say, and don't argue with them. It's like airport security. When you go through airport security, just do as they say, and you'll be fine. I think this is just simply amazing. This is, I mean, if I include the hiking time, it's, say, a half hour from where I live. Just beautiful up here. This stream creek, I should say, runs probably all year. I know late in the year it gets a little bit sparse. I don't think it dries up. Well, that's going to do it for the hike that we just went on May 3rd. But then, this is kind of weird. Today is now May 4th. How did we do that? I was just at a stream. It was, a beautiful day. Today's a beautiful day. Well, so let me explain. I had not a mishap, but a miscalculation. I have a Canon G5X, and it has a record button in the back. Now what happened is, all of a sudden I would press my record button and it wasn't working. It wasn't recording. So I that's like when you're trying to do a video, that's a no crap moment, especially when you don't have any kind of a backup camera like my Canon M50. So I went ahead, I finished the hike, went home, looked it up on Google, what was going on, and they kept talking about a card. So when you record these videos with these cameras, you record onto an SD-SC card. And what you're really supposed to do is to format that card to the camera that you're using. Well, I picked up an old card, and it was a card that still had pictures from a trip that Keely and I took about 5 years ago to Germany and Austria. So I stepped on a rock there. So I added to that. Well, it didn't record correctly. When I noticed the clips, the sound faded in, and I had to edit the best I could. So here I am. It's by miracle of, just doing a second clip. I wanted to put my last, well, not necessarily my last clip in here, because I think I'm going to do some B-roll down by the stream. But of course now, today is May 4th, and you're probably, gee, what are these? There we go. What are these glasses about? Well, they're actually glasses that fit over my glasses that I normally wear. So I don't have a Darth Vader helmet, but this is May 4th. So as I put these glasses on, May the 4th be with you. Goodbye, and I just want to add something onto this. If you're watching to the end of this video, I think you're just an absolutely awesome person. If you're not watching to the end of this video, you're still awesome. So take care, be safe, and we'll see you next time. And I'm still editing out the videos from the trip out to California that I took. But again, I'm back in Colorado. So now I'm going to take the glasses back off. Okay, there we go.